All right, so I'm doing these Dietz squats. This was shown to me by Cal Dietz, famous strength coach, the guy that does the triphasic stuff. That, let's see, who does triphasic? Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy, what's his name? Phil DeRue. That's strength coach. Who does he train? Never mind. He just trains the guy that just beat Conor McGregor. It's probably not a big deal. Dustin Poirier or something. You guys probably don't care. Anyway, not a big deal. But anyway, this is a great exercise. I love it. It feels really good. And it's actually an exercise where you can surprisingly use quite a bit of weight. It's okay to use your arms on this one a little bit to get a little bit of support. So I got these pegs set up here, and we're doing it out of this rack. I'm going to lift. What makes this exercise quite a bit different than anything you may have seen before is that we're lifting the heel of the front foot on a lunge, which everyone's like, don't do that, you're gonna blow out your knees. But I've actually noticed this to be a really good exercise for my knees. I did it last week. I've done it in the past and I really like it. Something I want to come back to for a few weeks. And I think last week I got up to doing about 325 or so. I'm not going to take the weight that heavy this week. I'm going to do a little bit more reps. So here we go. And see, I could come way forward if I wanted to on this move. That's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just come right from here to straight down pretty much. So the knee's going forward a little bit, but not much. And if I can, ideally, I'd like to get that back leg pretty close to the floor. Right here feels comfortable for me now. You might want to switch which leg you go first on every other set, because it's really demanding to do the second leg after you already did 10 reps. Make it challenging, make it difficult. Also had my knee sleeves on last time. That makes a big difference. I'll probably put them on after this set. Get a little bit of work in raw. A little more emphasis on the front leg, so drive the front knee forward a bit. There you go. Now you got it. Yep. Yeah, that's working. See, the thing about this is working both legs a lot. You can see the back leg's actually getting quite a bit of work, which we don't really think about the back leg getting much work when you're doing a lunge, but it's getting worked quite a bit. It's getting stretched a lot too. There you go, Tom. Nice work. You got to think, it's 20 reps basically. You're doing 10 and 10 with no rest, so it gets your heart rate going.
Holy shit. That feels really good though.
Yeah. So we get in a stance like this, almost like you're in the middle of like running with maybe a little shorter stride than that. I like to be close to the rack, heels off the ground, and here we go. Woo! Feeling that. Let's do this in between. Back attack. Great hammy exercise. Come over here. You see the hamstrings getting exposed. And for Tom, if he can, try to flatten this back out. He tends to want to round it. Feet straight. Try to get your feet straighter.
Oh.
Yep. So you're more comfortable with his feet out. Take some of the tension off the hamstrings. But when we're training the hamstrings, you want to go feet forward because we want tension on them. Flex the booty. There you go. You can protect your knees, you can protect your back by flexing your butt. It's critical that you learn how to use your ass on a lot of these exercises. So it looks like if a real man's using this. Let's show you guys. Let's drive the hips back, flex the butt.
Oh, you're not worried about bending your knees a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, you can bend them.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's why I was,
Yeah, you didn't know I was going to cheat.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways to do this kind of stuff. For me, say I'm trying to hone in on the muscle a little bit more. Last week I handled a little bit more weight. Probably my last set without any knee sleeves. Get on that toe a little bit. We don't need to be way up like this, but just get the heel off the ground, okay? And now we're gonna go down. Switch. On the toe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, but it's always different.
Woo! I like that range. Range of motion is indicative of what feels right for you. It's part of the exercise, I think. Help get them more reps. I'm gonna get me some knee sleeves. Beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Got some everyday sleeves on right here. They really should not just be called everyday sleeves. They should be called everyday, all day, right? Because we can just wear them all day, every single day. I'm gonna throw them on right now for these Dietz squats that I'm doing, these lunges that I'm doing. And you can see I got a large. I'm a pretty big boy. I got pretty big calves, but because of the stretch of this product, it still fits pretty good. Because I want them to be a little bit snug. Oh yeah, like a glove. Protection is the key, right? You need protection, not abstinence. You don't want to hide away from your squats and your lunges. You got to do legs day. It's important. It's important, kids. It's also important not to do legs day unprotected because you have some unintended consequences that could last forever. And forever seems like a long time. These sleeves can be purchased here at 855 Riverside Parkway. You can come here and buy them from me in person if you want. Or you can get them, I think we have a website. MBSlingshot.com, I think. Try that. See how it works. And these are the everyday sleeves. So here we go. Yeah. Hanging on here for dear life. And here we go. Woo. I'm gonna rest before I do the next leg.
Whoa,
Trying to get some good trying to get some good range of motion.
Really good.
Wow. man. Last set, here we go. Yowzers. We're done with those. Those things are a real B. Those things are tough. That's a Dietz squat right there. You know, having knowledge is a great thing. Learning new things is awesome, but if we don't apply the knowledge, then it's kind of useless. Applied knowledge is referred to as wisdom. So have the wisdom and courage to listen to entertain what other people tell you. Cal Dietz showed me this exercise, and I got to admit I thought it was kind of dumb. So I'm like, why would you use your hands? Like, why would you use your arms when you're trying to focus on your legs? He's like, show me a movement where your arms aren't involved. It doesn't even matter if you're doing a squat. Your arms are always involved. They're always going to be involved. Same thing when you're benching. There's leg drive, right? These are full body movements. And if you're going to jump, right? You're going to use your hands to initiate that jump. I mean, try jumping like this. It's going to feel really weird and awkward. It's going to be very difficult. So having my hands here and doing the exercise that way felt really good. But people ask a lot about how to get stronger at squats. And for me, it was just a lot of good mornings. So I did a lot of this exercise right here. This piece of equipment is like $3,000 or something ridiculous. So I understand not everybody's gonna have access to that. So you could also just take bands. You can put bands behind your neck, put them underneath your feet. You loop yourself in there, and you do good mornings with them. Obviously, it's not the same thing as using this high-class piece of equipment over here, but it works really, really well. But good mornings with a cambered bar are my favorite. And you can just look up like Mark Bell good mornings or Mark Bell chain suspended good mornings, and you'll see old videos of me using 500, 600 pounds for good mornings that were suspended out of chains. And I would wobble them back and forth a little bit and then arch them up and kind of almost squat them, really. It's like a good morning squat combo. But when I used to squat, I would go down in my squat, and when it was time to come up, I'd go like this. And I'd finish a lot of them this way. So I was like, why do I finish all my squats like that? And I was like, well, if I'm gonna end up here like this, I wanna just train that. I'll just train here. Boom. And so when I get stuck with 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,080, I can go and still finish it out. All right, last set. Gonna go feet a little closer together. Whew.
That side's got 4.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh. Go here and here. Like this.
Now that you're eating steak, man. Let me know when you feel like a different person. I give it like 2 weeks. I have superpowers. I love it. Oh.
Getting in that sled work.
Oh, so I can zoom in on my face, huh? Best asset is my face. I don't know. Nice. Yeah.
That's perfect weight for you with your body weight. No, carnivore month is good to me. Once you do that, nothing else seems sacrificial really anymore, you know?
Oh, my sister shipped her back. Kept making me eat tasty food and oh, my ass is on fire. Holy.
Not the first time.
Hey.
I'm gonna add one more plate to that sucker.
Oh.
30 pounds. It's like 300 pounds or something like that. So people keep asking, what you gonna do now that World Carnivore Month's over, Smilly? Same thing I always do. What you gonna do after you invent the slingshot, Smilly? Hey, people's coach, what are you gonna do now that you made a hip circle? Same thing I always do. Keep chugging along. Keep putting up points on the scoreboard. Become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. This month in February, a little bit of carbs surrounding the workout. Pre and post this week, February 1 till the end of the week, I will just be sprinkling, kind of salt bang, some carbohydrates into my diet, get me used to them again. Not like I was 0 carb for the month anyway, but just take a week to have 50 to 100 carbs a day. Next week, I'll be working on some fun and different stuff where I'm gonna have protein and fat about 30 minutes prior to having a big meal. Then I'll crush that big meal and I'll show you guys. I'll be eating grilled cheese sandwiches and burritos and cookies and ice cream and brownies and all kinds of stuff. But that won't be this week, that'll be next week. I want to kind of show you guys that you can mitigate the negative impact and negative effects of some of your meals by having protein and carbohydrates, protein and fats first before you have a big carbohydrate meal. A lot of research behind this shows you can help mitigate that glucose. See if I can do another lap on this. Really hard. And I also have an idea to do In-N-Out Burger for a month. And I was going to do Flying Dutchman. I'm going to do 10 Flying Dutchman a day which would be 20 burgers, which would be 7,000 calories, should be double of my caloric intake almost of what I actually need. And so I thought that would be kind of a nice way to show you guys that my theory is correct, that the calories might matter a little bit, but I don't think they really matter when you make the correct food choices. I don't think I would gain a pound from that. I could be wrong. The only way to do it is to test it and be honest with you guys about it. So we'll see. Holy shit, Scott. Oh. That was a killer. Over the years, as I switched into some bodybuilding, I've had people ask me questions about my glutes, how I built up my man peach, and how I built up my hamstrings. I didn't really know I had hamstrings till I started to lose a lot of weight. I obviously knew that I had junk in my trunk. I've had that since I was a kid. Thank you, Mama Bell. Appreciate it. I got that butt from my mom and her side of the family. My hips are just kind of, pointed towards the ground a little bit more, so my butt, sticks back a little bit more. The peach sticks back a little bit more. So God bless me with some of that, right? But I do contribute. Box squats to play a huge role in building up my glutes and in building up my hamstrings. And I want you to see, as I go to sit back onto this bench, and this bench is even like above parallel, you're gonna see my hamstrings activate. I got a kind of a wide stance, toes pointed out slightly. Okay, normal squat stance for a lot of people would be maybe a little wider than shoulder width. Pretty normal, and some people like to go in real close, but for me, I've always liked to go fairly wide, a couple inches past where you'd see most people, okay? I like to force my knees out and do kind of a powerlifting squat. As I force my knees out, I'm gonna reach back with my butt, and that reaching back, I think, activates the hamstrings really well and helps to reactivate the glutes as you go to come up, because the glutes are getting pre-stretched, hamstrings are getting pre-stretched. We're getting a stretch by going here like this, and then when you go to sit back on the box, you're relaxing, but then you're flexing and engaging the hamstrings and glutes as you come back up through the movement, because you previously stretched them pretty well. So I'm gonna sit back here like this, boom. And as I go to come up, I'm kind of grabbing the floor and kind of doing like a double leg curl, a double seated leg curl with my legs to get myself back up off the bench. So sit back in the pocket here, boom, here. Reach back with those hammies. But I'm not going like this, right? It's not crazy. I'm just here. I'm still keeping a good torso posture. Notice I'm not overarching through here. I'm keeping a lot of this. See if I can get some of these layers off so you can see what's going on underneath here. Whew. I got a lot of layers on today. So as I come back here, reaching back with the hammies. And a key element to a box squat is that you force the knees out. See, the knees are out. Another area that ended up working out good for me is the groin has come together pretty well. And a lot of that I think has to do with squats in general, but also just a box squat. But you see the position that the leg is in. I got that knee torqued out. I got this knee torqued out, and I'm in this position here. So I didn't really know that this would be a side effect of all the box squats, but it's been great, because as soon as I transitioned into any bodybuilding, people right away were like, how do you have a hamstring? And I was like, I don't know, do I have hamstrings? A lot of it's been from powerlifting, but I contribute most of it to a box squat. So make sure you're sitting back and make sure you're not really driving the knees forward. If we drive the knees forward, it's not like the hamstrings don't get any work, but you can see how it sits in the quads a little bit more. So if you're looking for more quad development, you could take that same box and you can go a closer stance, and you can go a little bit more touch and go on the box, where you're keeping more tension on the quads the whole time. Or you can just do a free squat and have no box. But box squats are where it's at. You want to build up a big ass, a big peach, and you want to build up some hammies, get into those box squats. Give them a try. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.